Hey folks, and welcome to Werner's Verly Gigs. And I'm Werner, and we're going to dispense with the normal intro other than to say, don't do dumb crap. I don't think that you can get into too much trouble with the contents of this video. Uh, for the past couple weeks, I've been making some 3D printed wrench holders for my tool chest drawer. My wrenches, while in holders, were just taking up too much space, and I've been acquiring new tools, and specifically pry bars, just regular pry bars and lady slipper pry bars, and positioning pry bars, and I need some more room in my tool chest. So I went ahead and designed and printed some, and this video is going to just be a quick intro to them. You'll be able to download these on Thingiverse and print them yourself for free. I'm just putting them out there into the public domain. Yeah, I'm not going to print them for people and sell them. You can print them yourself if you can, or find somebody else to print them for you. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. So here they are, and let me tell you what they are. They are modular magnetic wrench holders. So I just put a couple of wrenches here so you could see it in action, but let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so I can tell you about the modular and the magnetic. Now, I certainly did not come up with this concept on my own. I looked around on Etsy and eBay and saw what was for sale and decided, I could make something like that. Just like most of the others, they're magnetic. It's not a super strong magnet. There's a couple of either 8x2 or 10x2 magnets in here, depending on the size. The larger one gets 10x2 and the smaller gets 8x2 millimeter magnets. I think the only thing that I did that was unique is most of them, we have two pieces, and where they meet was shown on the top of the bar here. And all I did was I hung the label off to the side a little bit so that it hides where they come together. It hides the seam. I think they look pretty tight. So these wrenches come in pre-labeled in metric and SAE. This is my own color coding, but red for SAE and blue for metric. That's what I usually like to do. The SAE ones come in sizes from 1/4 inch, that's the smallest, all the way up to 1 1/4 inch, that's the largest. And there isn't a whole lot of difference other than the labels, and the wrenches larger than 1 inch have a slightly larger size. So I'm not sure, let's see if you can see this here. It may not look quite the same. Let's do it like that. Now you can see that the gap for this one is 1 1/4 is a little bit larger than the ones for 1/4 and 5/16. But what I found is that I just needed a little extra space for the really large wrenches. Well, really large for me, which is anything above 1 inch, and over this standard size that I have here. Now they're modular because they're actually individual pieces. So you can put them together in whatever order you'd like, or let's say that you've got them all set up and you don't own an 8mm wrench, but you buy an 8mm wrench and you want to put it in order. So you can insert it in here, and there you go. And I'm placing all of this on Thingiverse, and they are labeled as such. The smaller ones have a range of labels from 1/4 to 1 inch, and also 7mm to 20mm. And then the larger one is, I have a 1 1/16, 1 1/8, and 1 1/4, and I'll throw in a 1 3/16 shortly. And then for metric, I just right now have 22 and 23 millimeters, and I just drew the line where I have wrenches. But that's what you can find on the Thingiverse website for download. Now I'm also putting a step file up there in case you want to get the file and change the numbers yourself. If this what I've uploaded doesn't exactly work with your wrench set and you have Fusion 360 or some other program to manipulate a step file, then go ahead and download that and change the labels as you see fit. And one other thing I wanted to mention, because it was important and it fooled me a little bit, make sure your filament is dry when you print these. Early on, I'm using PETG here, and I felt like PETG was just the best material for this. A little bit more durable than PLA, but I didn't need to get out the big guns like nylon or polycarbonate. But my PETG took on a little bit of moisture, and when I was testing them, it fit together really snugly. And I thought, man, this is it. This is the way I want it. And then I decided that I needed to dry all of my filaments just because. So I dried them, and then it got really loose. So, you know, the filament shrunk down just a hair, I guess, and allowed for an easier slip fit. So then I changed the dimensions of this piece here to accommodate for that. So again, just make sure your filament is dry when you're printing these to get a good fit. If it's wet, it might actually be too tight and be difficult to connect together. So before I show you what's going on in the drawer now, here's just a still picture of before and after with the SAE wrenches on the right having been organized, and the metric wrenches on the left are still in their old layout. And you can see there's quite a bit of space saving by using this system. And then now here we have the actual wrenches live in my tool chest, and I can cram a lot in there, and there's a lot of space left over in this drawer. So if we zoom down a little bit, you know, again, we can see, you know, we've got basically from 1 1/4 all the way down to 1/4, and then on the metric side it goes from 7 all the way up to, I have a 22 by 24 wrench in there. So anyway, yeah, it works out really nicely. I'm really pleased with how it looks and the space that it saves. And don't forget, these are on Thingiverse, and that link is down in the description. All right, that's going to wrap this one up. Don't forget, look in the description below for the link to Thingiverse. Click on over there and download to your heart's desire. All I ask, if you download them and like them, just leave me a thumbs up or subscribe, or give me a comment. I would love to know if they work well for other people. I really like the way they work for me so far. After this section right here, if you want to stay on, there is some information about how to modify the step file so that you can change the numbers or the magnet size or the tongue and groove to get a tighter or looser fit. And that follows this immediately, so don't get offline yet. If you don't care about that stuff and don't want to watch it, then now it's time to hang up. All right, guys, so long for now.
So let's take a look at these parts in Fusion 360. I've got two right here. There's two different ones. This one on the left is slightly wider, as you can see, compared to the one on the right. What I want to show you is how to modify the numbers. So if you come into the main timeline here and grab it here. So right now it says 14 as in 14 millimeters. Let's say we want to change it to 20. Double click on the number, go up here, replace the 14 with 20, hit OK, finish sketch, and there you have it. We'll hide these sketches. And so in doing that, you can change the number on either of these to whatever it is you want to accommodate your specific wrench set if you can't find what you need in the pre-labeled wrench holders. Now, a second thing that might occur is that you want to use different size magnets. In the larger one, I'm using a 10 by 2 millimeter magnet, and in the smaller one, I'm using an 8 by 2 millimeter magnet. So to change the diameter of the magnet, we go into the first sketch, and you can see here's where the circles are for the magnets. And this is an 8mm magnet, but notice it says 8.2. I made it slightly larger so that the magnet would just slip into place and you wouldn't have to fight it when you install the magnet. So let's say you wanted this one to be 10.2. And same over here. I don't have them linked via formula right now, so you would have to do both. And if you want to change the height of the magnet, see, you would go to this extrusion here. This is for the larger piece, and then over here for the smaller piece. And again, you would just need to change the height of the extrusion, and it's actually cutting a hole in the center of the piece to create the cutout for the magnet. And finally, one last thing you may want to change would be the size of this tongue. So recall there's a tongue here, and on the other side is the groove, and they slide together. So again, you would go into the base of the very first sketch, and let's zoom in here. Here's that tongue, and you would just change it just a little bit. Well, let's change it more so it's noticeable. We'll call it 1.5. And you can see now it's made it larger. In reality, try changing it 0.05 millimeters. That should be close to enough. You might need to go as much as 0.1 millimeter, but try in 0.05 millimeter increments. And also on the second one, the lower one in here, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, because I made the arc as a single arc, there are two adjustments that you would need to make. So you'd have to come over to this one, change it to 1.4, and same over here, you'd have to come to the second one. I'm not sure. I'm not a pro at Fusion 360, but for some reason I had to put a dimension on both halves in order to make this one larger. So again, change it by 0.05 millimeter increments if you're having trouble with it being too loose or too tight. So that's what you can do if you choose to download the Fusion 360 file and make changes yourself.